Question number 7, Brendan Horan.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. To the Minister of Labour, what measures is the government taking to address the problems of bullying, discrimination and harassment occurring in New Zealand workplaces?
Honourable Simon Bridges.
Mr Speaker, bullying in the workplace is unacceptable. This difficult issue can adversely affect people's personal health and can seriously impact business productivity. Our employment and health and safety law provides explicit protection for employees from bullying, discrimination and harassment. Additionally, in February this year, WorkSafe New Zealand, in conjunction with MB, issued best practice guidelines on workplace bullying. The guidelines seek to support those involved in responding to situations before they get out of hand.
Supplementary question.
Supplementary question, Brendan Horan.
Would those guidelines provide protections to ensure that a Member of Parliament or a party leader cannot bully or intimidate...
Order. This is a question to the Minister of Labour. The further supplementaries which the member is asking must relate to a ministerial responsibility to the Minister as Minister of Labour. I invite him to ask his question.
Speaking to the point of order, Mr Speaker.
Well, the member is raising a point of order. Yes, point of order, Brendan Horan. And again, this will be heard in silence.
I am referring to workplace bullying, sir.
I'll listen very carefully to the question, but the member is at risk that if I consider he's asking a question that doesn't have direct ministerial responsibility, I have two choices of action, either to leave it to the Minister to answer it that way, or I have the option to rule it as out of order. Supplementary question, Brendan Horan.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. Would those guidelines provide protections to ensure that a Member of Parliament or a party leader cannot bully or intimidate a parliamentary service employee into conducting unlawful activities, for example, accessing the emails of another member without that member's permission?
Ends.
Point of order, Mr Speaker.
Point of order, Richard Prosser.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. I believe this question is out of order. I would draw your attention to Standing Order 375B relating to the responsibility of the Minister, and also to 3771A and 3771C, which relates to statements given as fact which must be able to be authenticated, and discreditable references to any member of the Parliament.
On this occasion, I'm going to invite the Minister to answer it. He needs to answer it very carefully in line with his ministerial responsibility. Honourable Simon Bridges.
Mr Speaker, it's difficult to answer such a question in the abstract, and I don't comment, of course, on specific cases. I suspect the matter the member refers to, if it were made out, is one for parliamentary services.
Supplementary question, Brendan Horan.
To the Minister, would those guidelines mean that an employee who made a complaint to her employer about abusive emails and text messages from her boss should be able to respond to that person's public denials without fear of legal action? If not, why not?
Insofar as there's ministerial responsibility, Honourable Simon Bridges. Point of order.
Thanks, Mr Speaker. Referring back again to 375B and the matters of administration for which the Minister is responsible, I believe this, as Minister of Labour, the Minister is one of a number of ministers responsible for MB and therefore WorkSafe NZ, but not specifically solely responsible, and the question should have been directed to a Minister in his or her capacity as Minister responsible for MB.
No, I don't accept that part. We allowed the first question through marginally on the question around guidelines. This is a further explanation or request for an explanation from the Minister about those guidelines. The question stands. Honourable Simon Bridges.
Speaker, effectively my answer to the earlier supplementary still stands. I'm sure Parliamentary Services is aware of best practice guidelines on bullying and incorporating them as appropriate. as a general statement of principle, certainly bullying is unacceptable no matter where or when it occurs.
Supplementary question, Brendan Horan.
Thank you, sir. Does the Minister believe that an employee locked out of her office by her boss should be allowed to challenge that boss's public denials and the denials of his colleagues without fear of legal action?
It's an opinion question, and again, insofar as there's ministerial responsibility, the Honourable Simon Bridges.
Mr. Speaker, I think that is a matter of opinion, and indeed one that requires legal opinion. I'll repeat really all that I've said. Bullying is unacceptable no matter where or when it occurs.
Supplementary question, Jacinda Ardern.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, Brendan Horan. Order. Well, it's actually not that easy a mistake to make, but I still managed to do it. Brendan Horan, supplementary question. If the member wants to ask his question, he better get on with it.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. To the Minister, would those guidelines mean that MPs might have to take responsibility for their treatment of staff rather than hiding behind parliamentary service and gagging clauses?
Order.
If so, what policy measures?
That question is definitely out of order. Any issues regarding parliamentary service are addressed to the Speaker as the appropriate Minister. Now we move to question number 8. Jacinda Ardern.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My question is to